Hey guys, so as you can see, my office is a bit of a mess again. This is what happens anytime I start working on costumes. It's just the rule that there can be no organization in my chaos, I think. But this is actually pretty well organized for me. So last night during work, I cut out pattern pieces. This is actually a butterick pattern I bought to do Rapunzel. Because, you know, as you can see, like with the sleeves and stuff, I could easily edit this, and I still am. Right now, like I said, I cut out the pattern pieces because these pieces here, the first time I resized it, I did it this way because I didn't have anything to resize the pattern properly, so I literally glued these on. But because of that, I can't iron these. So, I mean, it was fine for a one-time use, but right now, it ain't working. So, I mean, learn from your mistakes. Well, I kind of knew that was going to happen, so it wasn't a big deal. But this time, I'm going to actually resize them using another method because it's going to be a lot easier, because although I'm using this pattern, I'm actually, if you can see here, I'm actually going to be working on that little underbust, so it doesn't have to be as long. So because of that, I can easily, because I'm just going to cut, I'm not going to actually cut into these, I'm going to resize them on another piece of paper, and then I'm going to get it the height I want and stuff like that. So because of that, the paper I have will work for this. I'm also probably going to use this, because this is the paper that I got in the in my birch box, and so I didn't want it to go to waste, so I'm just going to recycle it by using it as a piece for my pattern paper. So as you can see, I'm getting ready to iron. Because I need to make sure that all of these pieces are, you know, nice and straight before I even attempt to start to resize these. But yes, I'm not going to touch anything on these patterns because I need to make sure that I have these again when I do make Rapunzel, because I will make her. But yeah, so I need to do that so that I can shorten the waist, but also these are only a size 20 pattern, and I'm much bigger than a 20 pattern, so I need to resize these and widen them all as well. So that's what I'm going to do. And yeah, so you guys will get to see how it goes. I'm not going to show you every little thing. If you guys do eventually want to see, you know, me work on a project from start to finish, I can eventually do that. It's just it would take a heck of a lot longer, because a lot of the times I work on these during work, and I can't film while I'm working because obviously I work from home doing call center stuff. So yeah, I don't want to lose my job because of my YouTube channel, obviously. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to start doing now. My iron is heating up, and I'm probably going to put some kind of anime on so that I can watch that while doing this, because I heard there's like 2 shonen eyes / yaoi things on Crunchyroll, so I'm probably gonna watch them. I've already watched Love Stage, and that one was really good, so if anybody's into yaoi and shonen ai, watch it. It was really cute. So yeah, I'm gonna start ironing these, and I will come back when I'm resizing these, just so you can kind of see how I do that. Alright, bye. Alright guys, so I'm currently working on my pattern resizing. I ironed all the pattern pieces. Then you can see here I already started kind of resizing. So I'm working on this costume here. And now, if you actually see here, this is how kind of my brain works for attention to detail. Okay, I'm just going to try to get... Okay, if you look here, it's higher on the waist here, and then it kind of curves down there. And then here it's just straight, and then obviously like all the lines. My pattern doesn't have nearly as many panels as that, but it's still good enough. So what I'm doing right now is, I already have my measurements there. What I did is I measured the front and the back, and it actually is the same size, so that'll be fine. And then the side here, because I just want it to go like around the waist. It's a cincher belt pretty much, but just wider, because it's going to be like an underbust. But I don't want it too low, because obviously like there's like the whole skirt and everything, because I have an idea of how I want the look to be. But obviously because I'm bigger, I want it to cover like certain problem areas, so like you don't want to have like just weird stuff popping out of under your corset and things like that, because it's just nasty. So so I'm taking in my own body shape when kind of editing this. So what I've done, and I'm sure I'm going to screw up and go around and have to do it again and stuff, but I'm starting out with the front and the sides. So the side is going to be 6 inches, and then the front is actually going to be 9 inches. So I'm going to do those the proper size. So pretty much like the side that is actually on my side is going to be that 3 inches, which is actually this one here. And then actually no, it's 3 inches here. And as you can see, it's kind of like going on a slope. So the first go around, it's not going to sit right, obviously. But I'm doing the first resize, and then I'm going to be able to put all the pieces side by side, all here. And then I'm going to get to be able to adjust everything so that it's all a gradual, you know, enlarging everywhere. And then once that's done, then I'm going to actually have to widen everything, because this is a size 20 pattern, and I am not a size 20. Size 20 pattern is here. I'm not looking at bust because I'm doing underbust, but it goes up to a 42 waist and no, it goes 34 waist, 44 hips. I honestly have I'm not ashamed of my size. Yes, I'm a big woman, but I have 60-inch hips and 54 waist. So as you can see, this is not going to fit me, so I have to adjust everything here. So I'll show you guys how I do it. It's a semi-long process, but once it's done, it's definitely worth it. I've never done it with this many panels. For this kind, like I did with the other one, technically I did, like this is the old one that I did. I did have to lengthen it, because this one I wanted to go right down past my belly, because you know when you're a bigger girl, you have a belly bulge, and if you do your corset too short, that's all just gonna, you know, pop out under the corset, and it doesn't look good. And then I widened everything, and then so that it would fit me, obviously. But this was like, I was in a rush and I had nothing to work on the pattern, so this was my cheap, fast way. Don't do that, especially if you plan on reusing a pattern. That is not the way to go. Actually, just always do it the right way, because you think you might not reuse that pattern, and then you get into cosplay and all sorts of things, and then all of a sudden in the future you're like, hey, I need another corset, and I can't use that. So, yeah, so this is what we're doing now, and I will be back in a moment. I'll probably show you guys actually how I'm resizing everything in a second too. Alright, so now I'm taking a look at this. This is the pattern piece here. Do you want to get that in? So what I'm doing first is I'm looking at all these. So it says here, you know, like the 14, 15, 16. So it shows me which ones connect one to the other. So I'm starting out with, obviously, like you can see here, I have the side front. And I kind of made a mistake here, but I'm still going to use that. That's the middle front. So I'm starting out with the side front and the front, because I want the side is the one that's going to be the shortest, and then the front and the back, I'm going to do the back as well, are the ones that are the longest. So you want that middle seam. So this is right exactly where it is in the middle front of me. So what I'm doing, because I measured 9 inches at this spot, so I'm going to go ahead and measure that. Okay, so I'm just gonna go for a smooth line. Oop. I'm not the straightest when it comes to lines, unfortunately. Alright, so this is like right here, 9 inches. And then I'm going to, as you can see too, I pinned this to hold it in place while I'm doing my work. So I'm just following the bottom part here. And now for here, I'm not going to do 9 inches on the other side. What I'm going to do is just do a straight line here. There you go. And then I'm going to follow the line here. Oh, okay, sorry. It's moving, so. There we go. I'm just going to remove these pins. I don't even need to do the line because it already went through, because this is tissue paper, obviously. The other thing I'm going to do, see, I'm not doing the wrist line because I don't know where the wrist line is on this, because this is obviously for a bigger pattern. My camera died before, so I kind of lost this, but so while I was working, I resized everything here. And I just kind of, just to show you, I placed them on top so you can kind of see. They actually all naturally followed each other. I didn't even need to do much adjusting. I think this one was the only one that actually had to go a little bit on a slant to match everything. Everything else just naturally did it, which is pretty good. Now, the last thing I need to do in order to resize this, I have two options here. And I'm just gonna bring it up here. So I have my measurements here, and I just calculated. So this is my waist, and this is my hips, and this is the natural pattern size. So this is the difference that I need to add, which you can kind of see here. So I need to add 20 inches for the waist and 17.5 inches. And so I decided here that I should divide that by 4 and add 4 panels. So I would need to add 5 inches and 4.35 inches to make those panels. Or the other thing I could do is add 2.5 inches to each of those pieces. The only thing with doing that for this, it's going to make them wider. And if you look here, this is actually like has even less panels, even more panels than what I have. So I want, you know, I don't want to go as small panels as these, but I still kind of want to get that kind of a look. So I don't want to resize them. So yes, I'm going to add more panels. And for this to work, I'm thinking that I'm going to add a panel here and a panel in the back, and that will be my true panel where I actually lace it. And I will, normal corsets you want like 2 or even 3 inches, because this is going to be boned with plastic. I'm probably only going to do 1/2 inch so I can have it snug, but I won't be able to do it nearly as much as I can like with my metal bone corset. And you can probably see here that I said 2 panels, okay? The reason why is that with each of these, you're cutting 2 pieces. So by doing those 2 panels, I'm going to be cutting 4 pieces. Because I want this to be symmetrical, and I want it to be that, you know, each of those pieces, when it's around me, you know, make it look even. So that's what I'm going to do. And once that's done, I'll show you guys. And then tomorrow, I'll most likely be able to start cutting. I'm probably going to do a mock-up though before I cut into my actual fabric. So that's what we're going to do. Alright, so this is the middle panel here. So I did my sizing here and here, gradually tapered it. I accidentally did just straight there, so I tapered it. And then instead of adding the 1/4 inch on both sides for my seam, I just added it there. It'll come to the same here anyway. So this is my side seam, and then I'm just going to do the back one. Alright, and this is just the simple back addition. This one I didn't add any seam allowances, and the reason why is because I do want there, again, to be a gap because it is a corset. It's not technically, like I said, it's going to have plastic boning instead of metal boning, but I still do want to be able to, you know, pull it in a little bit and have it nice and snug. So this is going to be the back piece. So as you can see, there's the middle piece I added there. And then with that one, that should be perfect for doing my mock-up tomorrow. Then once the mock-up is done, I'll be ready to cut into the actual fabric for this. So let's see how this goes. Hey guys, alright, so we're working on the mock-up because I'm not cutting into my precious fabric before I know for sure that this fits and looks good. So you can see I've got 2 of them here. I've got K-pop on the TV. I just paused it because if it plays for more than a certain amount of time, it'll flag me. And also, we've got Skype going on with Xander. Hi, Xander!
Hi!
Because when you're working on cosplay, get your other cosplay friends to go on Skype with you and work on it. Or Google Hangouts, whichever, right?
It's true. It makes things so much more fun.
It's so much more fun.
Productive.
So you want to, like, talk about what you're working on, or?
I am working on Captain Teemo, the Swift Scout from League of Legends, and this is his thingy that you see out of. I forgot what it's called.
Nocular?
Binocular thing, whatever.
Yeah.
It's a thing. And I'm starting with a foam base because I have a crap ton of foam. If I really like how it turns out at the end after I have it painted, I might actually take my Warbler and put it on top of it. But right now I'm working on his props before I work on anything else because those are the most time-consuming part. But once I have them figured out, the rest will be easy. But this is what I'm doing. I'm just using foam. $10 at Michael's for a huge-ass roll. Awesome.
Oh, is that the floral foam? The thinner one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to pick some of that up.
It builds up easily, and it's super easy to maneuver, because, again, I'm going around on a spiral, and I'm able to get it to look smooth.
Yeah. Are you gonna sand? Are you sanding the sides of the roll, or is that what you're doing there?
What I'm gonna be doing is once I put down a seal, a primer, I'm going to put a few layers of that and then sand it down.
Okay.
So the layers will help build up and help smooth everything out. And then after I have the primer down, I will paint and then prime again and then sand and try to make it look like it's wood.
Okay. Yeah. I think for the pauldrons that I'm making, I'm going to use that stuff for the layered, like, that goes right on the shoulder. And then I'm going to glue the thicker stuff to the front to be able to sculpt into it.
Well, for my World of Warcraft one, that's what I used for this. And I have it right now filled with resin.
Yeah.
To make it hard. It doesn't have resin on the outside, just on the inside here, so it can keep its shape.
Yeah.
But I did that with this. I used it with this. Well, once I have the resin in, it stiffens it right up. So I'm going to be doing that with all my pauldrons that I make. Because I find it so much easier to work with.
Is that the tips that Nathan gave you? Because I know you were, you guys were brainstorming.
The tips Luca gave me. Because, you know, I know absolutely nothing about armor. I'm just guessing what they do.
We're all learning. I think all of us are starting armor at the same time. Which is fun, because then everybody can help each other.
It's so true, and it was about time, and my sewing machine needs to be fixed. Well, it needs maintenance, so I might as well do something.
Yeah, so exactly.
Apparently it's armor that I'm working on.
Yeah, the main thing that I'm, like, you know, trying to figure out, again, is how to sculpt the conch part, like the roll. So that's what I'm thinking. I might do, like, 2 pieces of the thicker foam, like the square kind, like the ones that are the click-on mats.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably gonna put 2 of those together and then, like, just go into that with, like, a Dremel and
Yeah.
dig into it. If Mom will lend me her Dremel, if not, I'll have to buy one.
Understandable.
Armor.
But yeah, lots of fun.
Yeah. Wait, that's Xander. I like your teddy. That's like super cute. Mine's over there. But yeah, that's Xander. We're working on cosplays together. You should always have a cosplay buddy either in person or online so you're not bored while you're doing this. Though it's not boring or anything, but having somebody else just makes it more fun. So I'll be back for the next step later. Alright, so I got my sewing machine turned on and hooked. I've got it threaded and everything. And here are my mock-up pieces. I've got them put up in order. I've also got skip beat on. I like to watch shows while I'm working. So we are going to start pinning and sewing pretty soon there. Alright, so I've got the first 4 pieces in. The original pattern is bustier, so it has laces in the front and in the back. But with this one, I sewed the front part here. Normally what you do is you sew one half, sew the other half, and then sew it together. But I just decided to start it this way, because that way I can keep up on what my pieces are. But as you can see, look, it's got like the nice curved edge going, and it's all gradually going up. So far it looks like my resizing has worked properly. The only thing I had is, and I cut it here, is I had one piece here that was like this much taller, but the other one was the right size, so I'm not sure what happened there. But so I'm just kind of gradually putting all the pieces together. But it looks so far like this mock-up is coming out really, really well. Alright, so I just finished this, and I'm not quite sure how it happened, but this ended up being too big. I actually had to take out 4 panels, and I'm still going to have to cut about half here and half here to have it finished. But it fits, like, around me beautifully. I'm, like, so happy with it. I can't wait to actually do the real one in this. Like, I'm so happy, you have no idea. Because corsets can be a hit and miss. If you screw it up, it looks like hell. So yeah, I'm like really happy with it. It goes like under the bust. Like I was scared it was just going to be like a straight line, but it actually curves pretty well. The front is perfect on the, like, as you can see, like it's got the beautiful curve, and yeah, it's beautiful. So I'm gonna do the cut here. So once this fits properly, then I'll be able to just change it so it, again, fits properly. So